Come on, let's sit down.
Yeah, it has one of those. It has one of that.
Hey, can I pass them out?
No, I'll pass them out.
Okay.
Ready?
Dude, just sit down.
Sophia, go in.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so today we're gonna do side reading with you guys. And we are going to learn about inferring. Does any of you know what inferring is? You just gonna give it a guess? Yes, Ankita, what do you think?
It's like where you use information from the text and information, your own knowledge to not always predict. It can be like to find out a word or compare. Context clues and predicting are all parts of inferring. It's like
Make an educated guess.
Yeah.
Make an educated guess. It's a good one. And it's really similar to using context clues and making predictions, right? It's very, very similar. So we're trying to just make a conclusion about a word or a situation that we don't know of. So like an example, if anyone's having trouble with this, like an example would be, okay, you hear like a boom outside and you see a flash of light. We're going to infer that it's lightning. We don't know that it is.
No, lightning doesn't make a sound.
Well,
Thunder sounds like a storm.
A thunderstorm.
Thunder sounds like Thunder sounds like.
Right. Okay, so we're going to infer that it's thunderstorm, right? But we don't know it is, but we're going to infer it. So why should we infer when we're reading? I think good readers always infer. What do you think?
Because if you have like a word you don't know, if you just like don't give it a second thought, then you could miss like one of the main points of the book.
Yeah.
You can misunderstand it.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so perfect. So you guys know exactly.
My younger sister last night, she learned the new word constipated, and she thought it was like something smart, but then I told her it doesn't mean that.
She knows now.
In New Zealand.
Alright, so we're gonna use Okay, so we're gonna work with Storyworks, and we're gonna do one of the stories in here, so everyone gets a copy. It's called Not My Dog by Patrick Jennings. I'll find out what it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone have one?
Read.
Thank you. They don't have a page?
Is this what page?
On page 11. Okay.
Oh, I remember.
Okay, so we're just gonna look through this, like look through the pictures, just skim over it a little bit. So it says, not my dog. It says, Benton never asked for a dog, so how come one is running circles around him? I guess we'll find out. So this is a fiction. It says up at the top, it says original fiction. And you can see that there's a picture here. I mean, it's a really short story, like very short, like 2-3 pages.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a picture here of the dog sitting in the middle of the road with someone shaking his fist at him, and a boy, and then at the end, there's a magic trick, so I'm not really sure how this connects, but I guess we'll find out, right?
You can get that he's like a fake magician who
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he doesn't like having a dog, but he didn't ask if someone caught him. So
Yeah.
These are good predictions. These are good. Yeah.
He doesn't want to have them.
We're all ready.
So we are going to work on inferring, and what we're going to do is since we kind of just skim this, we're actually going to use these context clues, or these clues that I did, and I abbreviated it to say clue, right? So some strategies that we can use when we infer is connect to the character, so you can like infer about the situation or word from the character and their personality, or what they're doing, their actions, what they're saying. Another one is look at the picture, and there's not many pictures in this story, but
The last one is a big
you can still
The last one is really good.
When you are reading like a chapter book, if there is a picture, you can use it, and usually that helps out a lot. The title page usually helps out a lot, which is the next one, which says use the title. So it says not my dog. So
brought to life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that helps. So we can infer that
came out
Of nowhere.
came out of nowhere. They can be on the same page, okay. And then the E is extract the details. Does that mean leave?
Oh, vanilla
So
and
extract
pull out.
means-
Like pull out and squeeze.
So extract the details. So notice the details around the situation or the word. So can we just take a minute and write down? I'm gonna write down some of y'all's questions.
Whenever
So
I think of extract, I always think of vanilla.
vanilla extract. Yeah.
I was just looking at Mommy's one of the stuff that they extract the brain and boogers from the nose. They
So
take
they're
a
taking
small
out-
hook and they extract it from the nose. It's so gross and it's so painful.
Alright, so when we just did like a picture walk. What, now this actually makes it really easy. Scholastic makes it really easy. Some of these words, like some of the words I don't know what mastodon is. So I'm gonna write that down on our list. And some of them are actually bold, so it's making it easy on us. But is there any other words that you don't know that we come back later to once we are done reading the story? So we have
Well, like deader, some people have it, but like it's in bold, so like the new animal deader.
Oh, fish.
Oh, the new animal.
Oh, fish.
Okay, so wait, hold on one at a time. So where is it? What page?
It's on page 12 deader.
Okay.
Some of us already know what it means though, because of word study.
Oh, I don't know what fish means.
Where's
Fish is
deader?
like.
So we're not gonna say it yet. We're gonna wait till the end, okay? So this word is actually deter.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, so some people might know what it means.
Oatfish.
Oatfish. Kayla said oatfish, right?
If you
Oh, fish.
Oatfish.
O-A-L-A-I-S-H.
Okay. Is there any other words?
Clutched.
Clutched.
Yeah, I clutched my chest.
Did you write reinforced yet?
Reinforced.
Reinforced stuff. I think I know what deter means.
I know it.
Any other words that we might not know?
Gangly.
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 Yeah, it's on page 12.
All the highlighted ones are gonna be the ones we have for, but
Devouring.
Devouring and gangly. Wait, can I try to guess at, can I try to infer? Okay.
Yeah, we'll wait till the end.
I
Okay,
know a lot of
so
There
okay,
is.
well some of us might know it.
Where is it? Devouring.
Oh, the mastodon is like,
We're gonna wait till the end, okay?
it tells you at the.
Alright, and she said devouring. Okay.
I think we have enough.
Yes, we have enough. Okay, so I'm going to model how I would do this in this situation. So, something that, well actually we're going to read the first few paragraphs, that might help a little bit. Okay, so does anyone want
The first
to,
two paragraphs is only like 2 sentences.
well, just read like the first chunk, okay? Kayla had her hand raised.
Okay, so you need a dog fenton, Dad said. I was at my workspace building a dried flute model of the human digestive tract. No thanks, Dad, I replied. I don't really care to have a dog, but it's nice of you to think of me. He can be so considerate. He shook his head. No, you need a dog. It'll be good for you. It'll get you outside more. But what about my work, I asked.
The next chapter.
We studied the many constructions in my workspace. My sugar cube replica of the Great Pyramid of Giza, my paper clip Eiffel Tower, my gumball solar system, my rawhide mastodon. I didn't like imagining the wreckage that a slobbery oatfish canine might do to them. You know, Brad at the office, Dad said. His golden retriever had pups and I bought one of them. My heart stopped. I clutched my chest. Where's Mom? I asked. My mom is a preschool teacher and knows CPR. My dad doesn't.
Okay, so wait, let's stay on this page for a second, okay?
Okay.
So, one of the questions that I had for myself was, well, why
Wouldn't he
doesn't, yeah.
Yeah.
I want a dog.
Why would Fenton not want a dog? So, okay, so what I did is I took a sticky note. I'm going to give you all some sticky notes. And what I wrote down is the situation, like my question. situation. Why does Fenton not want a dog? And I wrote down the 2 ways that I inferred why I think so. So I use character. I use C. So it said I'm connecting to the character. So I read here that he likes to build models, and he kind of is worried about his work a little bit. So he might not want a dog because he's busy all the time, maybe. And the dog might ruin his stuff.
So he used the word
because, you know, if he stays inside all the time, he can't like enjoy the rest of the world.
Exactly.
He used the word oafish, which means kind of like clumsy.
Right. So that's kind of, and that goes on E. So I extracted some of the details. So he used the word oafish. He also mentioned that his dad says it'll be good for you. It'll get you outside more. So we can conclude from that clue that he doesn't go outside that much, and having him get a dog will force him to go outside. Maybe he doesn't want to go outside.
Or maybe he like argues with his dad a lot because he can be so considerate.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, that's exactly right. So what I want you all to do, I'm going to give you all some sticky notes. I'll probably give you like 3 to start off with, okay? 3. And I want you to read the rest of the story. It's not too long. I'll give you about 7 minutes. Maybe about 7 minutes sounds good. Does anyone have any questions?
Ben should.
I want you to at least find one. And it can be any of the words that we put on there. Don't use the same word if you can. But I want you to at least find one.
So how much? So do we write one on each?
How much what?
The time.
Maybe 7 minutes. Do you have a watch?
No, but I can probably
You can have a timekeeper. Okay.
Right.
Oh, that's not.
Oh no, that one's already broken.
That one's broken.
Yeah, because compared to the one
Okay.
they didn't turn.
I'll watch the clock. You can do one. Yeah, do one on each, and you'll have.
I know what time we will stop.
Write a question.
You either find a word that you don't know, or write a question that you about the story, and tell which clue out of all of these that you used to infer about the situation. Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to just give it back? Does that work? Can you see it now?
Yeah, that looks shouldn't when we infer we use the at the top?
How does that work?
Good.
Can you see that better? I mean, it's not gonna stay.
Okay. Put it right there, Mr. Shirt. Like, yeah.
Oh, like have the
There, right? Does that, everyone see that? Could you ladies, do you know?
Yeah.
You can see it? Okay, so we're gonna read to the end. I'm gonna give you 7 minutes, okay?
plastic.
They're like
Like newspaper.
That would be gross. Still.
What if you don't understand, like, no word? What clue would you use?
To figure out the word?
Yeah. Would it be, oh, E.
Andrew, you're doing the question right there.
You do that a lot.
Now for this, I want you to tell me, so you don't know the word, right? So you're gonna extract the details from what you said to figure it out. So I do want you to figure out what the word
Alright.
is. Okay. And I want you to figure it out using the E. Be really careful with these, you guys.
Wait, do you want us to figure out?
I do want you to figure it out, yes.
Using the E?
No, using one of them. It doesn't have to be the E. But in her case, she wanted to use the E. So.
I'm using this one.
You can use
Would
whatever
like
one.
if you infer about the character, would that be C too? If you infer about the character.
Yeah. You can use more than one too. Yeah. So.
Okay, then this is like
All anything that we involve.
Okay. Yeah. So you're finding a situation or a word that you don't know, and I do want you to make it inference about that word or situation. So I do want you to come up with something. And then tell me how you figured it out. One of this. Or if you found a new way, you can include that too.
We start about
It's like 1:18,
2 minutes
I think.
before 5, I think.
So,
Or yeah, so I think it's already
stop.
Dang, I was just about to answer.
Yeah,
My second question.
Okay, we'll finish up the thing that you were working on, okay?
Should I give you?
How about the meaning
got
of the
two
words
questions
that we
Sorry?
Oh, I didn't finish the story.
Could you put in words that you?
You can put in words that you don't know.
Did
Don't
you
say-
figure out what it is?
How many do you have to do? How many do you have to do?
One more minute, okay?
How many do you have to do? At least one.
Okay,
Yeah. And if you are having trouble, we'll work together as a group to figure it out. Okay? Yeah. Yeah.
And also I was about to write my fourth question.
Oh.
He does it again? No.
Are you going to say your questions? It's okay. But we need to move on. Okay. So we're going to go over some of these, okay? I will let you look at the text after we're done with the lesson. Okay, how's that sound? I know you want to finish it. Okay, so, alright, so here's a good one. So I think, Kayla, this is yours. So, okay. Oh, that's okay. So her question is, why would he call the dog by the name if he was trying to make the driver, he didn't put that, driver believe it wasn't his dog? So what page is that on?
It's on.
Like 12 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah, 13.
So which of those did you use? What kind of clues did you use to answer your question?
I used. Well, I kind of guessed that because he'd already said that it was his dog. He'd already pretty much. The driver actually informed that it was his dog, because he was running after the dog.
Okay.
And there was nobody else around, it looks like, so I used the picture.
So use a picture. Good. Yeah. Okay, so that's a good one. So she used a picture, and her answer was because the driver had already guessed that he didn't want the dog to get run over. So she used the picture. So will you put this by the L? Don't remember? Why not? How about we read yours next?
No. Thank you.
Can you read mine after that?
Yes, okay. So you have questions about the words, right?
Yeah.
So his question was the word mastodon. And you said it was an animal. And you said you used E, so you extracted the details. So can you tell me how you did that? Or can you tell the group how you did that? At the end?
Okay. Chewing on his guts.
You know, he pulled down the rawhide mastodon and I guessed it. I just started cutting it.
Okay.
So I was guessing it was like a bone.
Good. Yeah, that's really good. Actually, so I can tell you what mastodon means. It's actually a prehistoric animal. It's kind of like elephant.
They also said
Okay,
that
wait.
Or an animal.
It's like a woolly
it
mammal.
also said that it had guts.
Yes. So we
And I
can,
didn't
right.
think it was a human because I hadn't really heard of it and it wasn't capitalized.
Right. And we saw on the first page that it said my rawhide mastodon. Right.
So it would be like.
Well, good. Okay. So I'm gonna put this on E. I know there's more, but okay. So you had the same one about mastodon too, right?
Yeah, but I got it wrong.
Okay. So it says a thing in space. So how did you come up with that answer?
Because it sounded like an evil thing in the Transformers movie.
Okay. So you used outside clues
Yeah.
from like other sources.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what does mastodon really mean? I was thinking that might be something related to shit.
No, it's a prehistoric animal. It's related to an elephant. It's kind of like a woolly mammoth. Yeah. So that's what it is.
Okay.
So you used. Okay, so she used outside clues, which is not one that we put on there, but you can definitely use that. Yeah.
I thought it would be like
And inferring doesn't mean that you get it right every time. Inferring is not right. I mean, you can be completely off with inferring, but as long as
makes sense.
but it makes sense. Exactly, it makes sense.
It's like the inside out method.
Yeah.
Math.
Okay, so let's see what makes this. Okay, so
Was the
one I
short
really
one?
liked. I really liked. Okay, so she said Nikita inferred that Fenton never wanted a dog and was shocked when his dad said he bought one of them. He clutched his chest and he mentioned CPR, so we don't know what clutch means. Also, he called them oafish, which means clumsy, and he used C-U-M-E. Can you explain a little bit?
Well, like, since it wasn't exactly sure if you forgot the character was connecting to the character.
Okay.
I mean, if it was something about the character was connecting, it was something about the character. That's why I asked you. So,
Right.
but you said that was okay. So,
Yeah.
C.
Yeah.
What else did I use?
Use you. So use the title.
Yeah, like I kind of use the subheading too. So like it says never ask for a dog, and it says, and the title is not my dog.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. Good.
And then E, well, like, you know, you kind of use I kind of use the context clues, kind of. Not really, but kind of.
It's hot and
Okay.
real.
And the little one. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Nikki? Okay. Do you want to read it to us?
What does petrified mean?
Okay.
And they said that it was old, really old, meaning he ate old food.
Okay.
And abandoned is another way of using the word, which I think meant not thinking about what you're doing.
So you think abandoned and petrified are the same word, or
No,
those two
no,
different
no.
questions?
No, she said-
Oh, okay. Okay.
She meant like abandoned was used in different contexts. than she was
Okay. So you. Okay. So they're okay. So but you used what strategy did you use
I used for which one?
for the first one? We'll do petrified first. So how did you?
Well, actually, I just asked my friends, so I'm gonna do the second one.
Okay. All right.
Abandoned, not thinking what you're doing.
I would most likely go with extract the details because I didn't use context clues from what they said.
Okay. And what were those context clues? Can you tell us?
I can put on Kita's stuff though.
He crisscrossed the lawn. He obviously had no sense of direction nor any respect for private property. He crisscrossed the lawns of our neighborhood.
And what did you say abandonments?
It probably means not thinking about what you are doing.
Yeah. So in the context, it means So it says I have like a little cheat sheet here. It says that abandoned means enthusiastic.
Oh, well,
Great. Which doesn't, to me, that doesn't make sense in this context.
But
It's like the same thing with
abandon someone.
It's like the same thing with late.
Crazy.
There's two late. There's two, but it's kind of like the same thing with the meanings of late. There's two of them. One could mean like just died, like a relative word, like, and the other one can be just like
So it could have two meanings.
Yeah.
But that's
Wait,
yeah, that's
what was the
thing about
word?
banning can
Like
be
abandoned.
Oh,
Crazy.
baby.
I
always thought that would be like
when he like leaves someone or like abandons someone.
Like leaving. That's what I thought. Like alone.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But in this context, it kind of means like crazy. Yeah.
We're gonna say
And doesn't know where you're going, like lost direction, kind of like Sophie was saying.
Just like.
well,
Well, I
what
guess
page is it?
enthusiastic might be the
13.
one. He's like running, kinda not knowing what direction, which is like.
Well, like
we do
Lost all
Does
sense.
anyone else want to share
we
this?
crisscross the lawns of our neighbors with wild happiness.
Yeah, so
Wait, what did you say?
petrified.
Well, like
You said oh.
I have I guess abandoned could be an adjective too.
And,
Like the one that we know of is a verb. Like you abandon someone. That would be a verb.
Died, long died. I see
Yeah.
petrified too before.
Petrified
Wait.
means
So we're on two different things then. Alright, so let's get back to Jack here. So
it's on two of them.
Right. Okay. So Fenton uses the word oafish to describe the dog. Okay. So Sophia said I use context clues and split up oafish into oaf. So I think oafish means oaf-like. Okay. And it says oaf means big and clumsy. So you think that oafish means
like someone or something clumsy.
right. So that's another way. That's great. So you kind of used the prefix. You split up the word.
Context was like, I don't know, like knowledge.
Yeah, prior knowledge.
Prior knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not on there, but that's really good.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't
kind of like
really know
use
what
other
to write.
sources. Yeah, that's completely acceptable. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we just have a few more seconds. Okay, so what I want you to realize is that when you don't know a word or a situation, you should not be completely lost. I will let you know right now that when I was in elementary school, I had one of the worst vocabularies ever. I didn't know hardly what any words meant, and I was a slow reader. And I had to learn how to infer and use all these context clues, and that's how I grasped the meaning of stories, and that's why I'm a good reader today. So when you do go out and read, if you don't know anything, try using some of these strategies or using prior knowledge or other sources. You could even use your friend. I will say though that when you're like on the EOGs, you can't use your buddy, but if
You'll be able to use some like outside knowledge.
right, you can use outside knowledge, you can use connecting to the character, you can look at the picture, you can use the title.
Will there be different lessons that Miss Scott teaches about inferring?
Yeah, she's teaching some inferring lessons, and she's also, I think this week, isn't she talking about context clues?
Well, we aren't exactly doing reading lessons today. I think we were supposed to do. We were supposed to do context clues today.
Yeah, and once we go with this, we can go infer what we read.
But
Exactly, so you'll be ahead of the group.
Yeah.
Well, but we didn't do any mini lessons for like the last week or so, and we're going back to plot development for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of it. You can read on, I'm gonna take this.
Oh, that's such a cool phone.
No,